Hey, True Believers. Chris Mack coming at you today with Green Lantern, issue 46. And I love this issue. As you can see on the cover, we have an uneasy alliance. We continue on Zamaron as this Corps is being pummeled both by the escaping members of the Sinestro Corps, all the while the Black Lanterns invading. Even the Sinestro Corps, trying to flee from this planet, are having one hell of a time trying to escape this new death that has been brought upon the planet. Hal Jordan enters the fight along with Indigo One, and it's just a great way to see Carol and Sinestro and Hal Jordan brought together in this unlikely trio. Hal is saying, we got to sanitize the black rings with green light and whatever other color you've got. It leaves the rings brittle. You can smash them. And it'll cause feedback that destroys the Black Lantern. Now what I love is Hal goes, now am I talking to Carol or Star Sapphire? Both, but I'm in control. And the Zamarons dragged you into this? Actually, I volunteered. You volunteered? You're crazy. Specifically for wearing this uniform. You look good in purple. I know. So you can kind of see Carol and Hal kind of catching back up in the love that they have for one another. Why would you volunteer for this? They said you needed my help, and I knew you never ask. How many times have I told you never to trust a guardian unless it's Ganthet? As many times as you told me to cover the dinner bill. I'm serious, Carol. So am I. The love you have for one another is truly inspirational. And you just love how Sinestro, in the midst of all this, wants to battle his old adversary. And I love that Hal quips back, great, glowing fascist at 1 o'clock. In the quips, oh my God, they're so great. So, Sinestro, I realize this might not be the time, but I'm curious, Jordan. On the eve of my execution at the hands of the Green Lantern Corps, you were going to ask me something. One last lingering question before you put me to death. I've been dying to know what it is. I was wondering where you get your hair cut. I wanted to put that on my try to avoid list. It's just great stuff. And then before they could really get into it, Indigo One grabs him and says, we need you, Sinestro. He goes, get your hands off me, Star Sapphire. I am not a Star Sapphire. Aben Sir told me you were the only Green Lantern I could trust, though I am obviously aware your circumstances have altered. And while this happens, the central power battery for the Star Sapphires is destroyed, releasing the two Loves, which I had to go look these two characters up. I don't want to spoil it, but yeah, it's apparently two iterations of characters that are part of the Justice League. Now, Scar. I didn't really know what happened because it's been so long since I've read the Sinestro Wars. But apparently, Scar, being a Guardian, was severely injured at the hands of the Anti-Monitor, which slowly started to make her die inside, which made her more susceptible to hearing the Overlord of the Black Rings. We think it's William Hamm, but it's not. There's another nagging voice, and it made her more susceptible, which is what made her initially lash out at her fellow Guardians so that the Black Lanterns can come and snuff out. And this is where we kind of learn more in depth about the Black Lantern's plan other than just the dead returning. Black being the absence of color it absorbs. They want to absorb all the colors of the emotional spectrum that make the white light. So, they want to get rid of indigo, pink, willpower, all that stuff so that black will rule the universe. So there's kind of the main objective is they want to rule the world in darkness. So Scar says, do you see it, my lord? The violet light fades. Follow the indigo light. So that's why they're all attacking the home worlds. They're trying to destroy all the central power batteries that harness the emotional spectrum. More ads, Jesus. And they really take their time with John Stewart. We've just kind of seen bits of him, and he goes, Xanshi, right in front of me. I don't know if I'm seeing things. The ring cleared me of alien viruses and hallucinogens. And he noticed that he can't get back to Oa, but he hears a voice saying, I can help you save them. Yeah, I know. What the hell am I thinking? So he flies to a world that is infected with the black rings, but because he's out of range, he doesn't know what's going on. And then we are shot into Cord. And what else, or not Cord, Kruger, however you pronounce it. And essentially, Indigo wants Sinestro to rally his core. She goes, I empathize with you, Sinestro. I know what you want. I know what you need. It's what we need. I have not brought you home. I've brought you to face your rival. And just the face-off between these two, thinking this is going to be an impossible fight. So I like that while we're deep within the Blackest Nights, Johns takes a moment to kind of clear up stuff that happened during the Sinestro War, where Mongol was kind of going through and slaughtering his core to take over. And the quips that these two have at one another is absolutely awesome. I love that Indigo 1 attacks Mongol and she goes, you have no concept of the pain you've caused countless others through your violent life. Feel it now, Mongol. All of it. And he goes, it tickles. And that's why I say Mongol, to a degree, could really, I think, rule Apocalypse if he took on Darkseid. That's my personal opinion. And, Jordan's telling Carol to watch out because Mongol is taking on Superman, and Sinestro just goes in. Anyone responsible for harming the people of Kruger in any way, Yellow Ring or not, will answer to me, as Mongol will, with their blood. And you just see that Sinestro may be going down for the count. Mongol says, I've been waiting for this, Sinestro. A challenge, if but a small one. I was going to say the same thing, Mongol. Of course you were. Because that is who you are, Sinestro. Someone who says things. Someone who pontificates about his grand plans and speaks of his great leadership and yet has never truly shown it. I am a creature of action. And even though it looks like he's down for the count, he just goes and goes. And the way it ends, it's just absolutely phenomenal. I don't want to ruin it. But before there could be any type of victory or celebration, Hal and Sinestro are faced with two things from their past that have come back literally to haunt them. Now, I wanted to talk about who made the book, but apparently I flew past the credits. And I hate that in a lot of comic books now, they take their time, there it is. They take time putting the credits in. So as we end this is Jeff Johns writing, pencils Doug Mahnke, inks Christian Almy and Tom Nugent and Mahnke, colors were Randy Mayer with Gabe Eltabe, and letterer was Rob Lay. Excellent issue, guys, and as I said at the beginning, I love that Jeff Johns kind of took a minute to breathe, clear up what happened with Sinestro Corps, also shows how his core finally rallies around him and why the different emotional spectrums need to come together against this imposing threat that wants to wipe out all light from the earth. So if you guys have enjoyed what you've seen, please first and foremost support your local comic shop or wherever it is you like to get your comic books and action figures. And if you've enjoyed this review, we really would appreciate it if you take a moment to like, share, and subscribe. Helps the club channel more than you could possibly know. And if you won't mind hitting that fancy little emotional spectrum bell next to subscribe, that way as we continue to upload content, you guys will get notified. Come to the channel, and we love talking with y'all and hearing your thoughts and feedback down in the comments below or social media pages, which I'll make sure I leave the links down in the description. So with all that said, I hope y'all continue to have an absolutely amazing day reading, and happy hunting, true believers.